So let me take you back to the start of this build and give you a bit of context as to how I got here. So I'm editing my video, I click export, and for most editors this is the happiest time for us, but 17 hours to export. I am stressed, but as any editor would do, I go online and I order a new PC. Parts have landed, and to start with we have a 1600 watt Corsair power supply, an IQ150i CPU cooler, 3 RGB Corsair case fans, the ROG Strix Z790F motherboard, the i9 13900K star of the show 4090, and 64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of SSD storage. Yeah.
What are you expecting your new render times to be?
10 seconds or less.
Why did you choose the 4090?
It has 24 gigs of onboard memory that will come in extra handy when I'm editing in Premiere Pro and CUDA. Just made sense.
Is it true this build cost you over £4,000?
Yeah, it did. It was expensive, this one.
Will you be going bankrupt after this?
Probably, but it was worth it. Pre-assembly. I try and build as much as I can outside of the case, just because once you're inside it, it can get restrictive, especially with this big 4090. The case I'm using is the Thermaltake The Tower 500, and I wanted something different from the regular rectangular box shape case. So this is why I went with this one, and it does the job perfect. Why is there a camera in the fridge? The build. So we're getting into it now, and I've assembled most of the parts and I'm just putting the final pieces together and pretty much connecting everything at this stage. So getting all the cables connected and cable managed through the back. For me, cable management is a big thing, so I like everything to be clean. Now a bit of CPU paste, apply that so we can attach our CPU cooler. Now everything's connected and set, let's get some power into this bad boy. So I've attached my 8-pin and 24-pin cables, attaching the power cables to the GPU. This thing required 4 power cables. It's absolutely insane, this 4090. And a bit of cable management, add in an additional fan that I had left over, putting together some screws that I took out, putting the lid back on, the back plate, and we're pretty much done. Let's get some electricity into this monstrosity. The build is now complete. Now for the moment of truth. it's a glorious occasion. We're up and running. And yeah, that was a pretty fun build. It took me about 2 days, but that was partly down to me filming at the same time. Probably could have done this in 1 day. The total cost of this build was £4,847.57. Crazy. But it was worth it, and I've justified it by calling it an investment. So as I said, this build was pretty straightforward, but this 4090 is crazy. The size of it is insane. It's literally like the size of my forearm, and this is the only little hiccup that I had, was trying to fit this in, because at the moment there's literally millimeters between the GPU and the power supply unit. I had obviously got this case thinking it's going to be big enough, the Tower 500, and they do a bigger one, and in hindsight I probably should have got that one, but this 4090 is crazy. Like, it's the size of a baby. Like, it's literally a small baby, but it fits. Obviously, with them being so close, I have to keep an eye on heat distribution, so I'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the coming weeks. But I think I'll be good, hopefully. Yo, I was wondering if you needed anything edited. Yeah, I'm kind of broke at the moment. Yep. It's all gone. My life savings are finished.